I obliged the old woman, I spoke thus. Everything about woman is a riddle, and everything about woman has one solution. What's the solution? Pregnancy. Man is, for woman, a means. The end is always the child. But what is woman for man? A real man wants two things, danger and play. Therefore he wants woman as the most dangerous plaything. Man should be educated for war, and woman for the recreation of the warrior. All else is folly. The warrior does not like all too sweet fruit, therefore he likes woman. Woman's a fruit, but it's not too sweet. Even the sweetest woman is bitter. Woman understands children better than man does, but man is more childlike than women. So women understand men, maybe? I don't know. In a real man, a child is hidden and wants to play. Go to it, women. Discover the child in man. Let woman be a plaything, pure and fine like a gem, irradiated by the virtues of a world that has not yet arrived. Let the radiance of a star shine through your love. Let your hope be, here's the hope, he says, let your hope, women, be this. May I give birth to the overman. So skip a sentence or two. Let your honor be in your love. Little does woman understand of honor otherwise. He's bitter. He says women are bitter. He's bitter. We skip a paragraph and a half. The happiness of man is, I will. And he doesn't mean I'll do it. He means my will. He uses the will as what is that, a verb there, I think. The happiness of woman is, he wills. Now, I don't know how much of this Ayn Rand picked up, but she said she regretted that there wasn't an Aristotle in her time for her to look up to, and she was the one who had to, she thought that women being leaders, she thought that made women fairly unhappy to be leaders. I'm not a woman, I don't know how that goes. Behold, just now the world became perfect. That's what a woman says to herself, because she sees that he wills something. Thus thinks every woman when she obeys out of entire love. And woman must obey and find a depth for her surface. Surface is the disposition of a woman. A mobile, stormy film over shallow water. Man's disposition, however, is deep. His river roars in subterranean caves. Woman feels his strength, but does not comprehend it. She's just on the surface of things. Then the little old woman answered me. Many fine things, has Zarathustra said, especially for those who are young enough for them. It is strange, Zarathustra knows women little, and yet he is right about them. Is this because nothing is impossible with woman? And now, as a token of gratitude, accept a little truth. After all, I am old enough for it. Wrap it up, and hold your hand over its mouth, else it will cry over loudly, this little truth. She's going to give the woman some truth. Then I said, Woman, give me your little truth. And the woman said, You are going to women? Do not forget the whip. Thus spoke Zarathustra. Except the last thing was said by the old woman. The woman said that, so Nietzsche gets out of saying that. You are going to women? Do not forget the whip. So, like I said, not particularly profound, but worth it for the hilarity of Nietzsche's thing. Okay, we'll skip about 7 pages to page 74 now. On the gift-giving virtue. On charity, right? Or not charity, the giving of gifts to maybe even somebody who deserves it, right? When Zarathustra had said farewell to the town to which his heart was attached and which was named the Motley Cow, many who called themselves his disciples followed him and escorted him, Thus they came to a crossroads. Then Zarathustra told them that he now wanted to walk alone, for he liked to walk alone. His disciples gave him a farewell present, a staff with a golden handle, on which a serpent coiled around the sun. Zarathustra was delighted with the staff and leaned on it, and then he spoke thus to his disciples. "Tell me, how did gold attain the highest value? Because it is uncommon, and useless, and gleaming, and gentle in its splendor. It always gives itself. Only as the image of the highest virtue did gold attain the highest value." Pause for a second there. Gold probably did attain mystical values to ancient man because it was one of the first metals that was worked, and it doesn't corrode or anything like that. It seems to be permanent. Anyhow, gold-like gleam the eyes of the giver. So when a giver gives stuff, his eye gleams like gold does, right? It's uncommon and useless. Okay. Golden splendor makes peace between the moon and the sun. Uncommon is the highest virtue, and useless. It is gleaming and gentle in its splendor. A gift-giving virtue is the highest virtue. And then I'll just tag on the words again, and useless. Verily I have found you out, my disciples. You strive as I do for the gift-giving virtue. We skip 2 cryptic sentences. Insatiably your soul strives for treasures and gems, because your virtue is insatiable in wanting to give. Insatiably your soul strives for treasure and gems, because your virtue is insatiable in wanting to give. You force all things to and into yourself, that they may flow back out of your well as the gifts of your love. So everything that you find that's valuable, you want to bring it home so you can give it away, so to speak. Verily, such a gift-giving love must approach all values as a robber. You got that? So you have to act like a robber or a thief if you're going to be giving stuff away, because the only reason you want it is so you can go give it away, but you do want it so that you can give it away. And that turns you into a bit of a thief or a robber for everything you're trying to get hold of, so that you can give it away. You'll give it away later, but you have to take it first. Skipping a few paragraphs to the next page. When your heart flows broad and full like a river, a blessing and a danger to those living near, there is the origin of your virtue. So when you are a blessing and a danger to those around you, that's virtue. Skip a paragraph. When you despise the agreeable and the soft bed, and cannot bed yourself far enough from the soft, there is the origin of your virtue. There's a little bit of Spartanism there or something, Stoicism. We skip a few paragraphs onto the next page. Not only the reason of millennia, but their madness too breaks out in us. The millennia past us. It is dangerous to be an heir, H-E-I-R, to inherit things. Still we fight step by step with the giant, accident. And over the whole of humanity there has ruled so far only nonsense. Let your spirit and your virtue serve the sense of the earth, my brothers, and let the value of all things be posited newly by you. For that shall you be fighters. For that shall you be creators. Alright, so that is the positing of a new set of values. That is the nihilism bit there, huh? Let me skip a paragraph. Physician, help yourself. Thus you help your patient too. Okay, now if we take physician out and put in there philosopher, because philosophers move history. Philosopher, help yourself. Thus you help the people that you are to benefit from your actions. Let this be his best help, that he may behold with his eyes the man who heals himself.